Hello dosto, this is Vishakha Daga coming up with next round of current affairs. But I think it would be injustice if I call that a current affairs and not a story. Because the thing I'm going to tell you today is not just a current affair but a story. In fact, बड़ी दिलचस्प कहानी है जो मैं आपको बताने जा रही हूँ. और इसे अगर आप कहानी जैसे समझेंगे तो बहुत आसानी से समझ जाएंगे और करंट रेलेवेंस को भी समझ पाएंगे. And that is what I'm going to tell you today. Now, here on this side, you can recognize this man because he's often been into news. One of the powerful country, China के president है ये. But on other side is a lesser known woman, also the president of a lesser known country, that is Taiwan. But जितना ये unknown है, उतना ही ज़्यादा like you use their products because she's the president of the country Taiwan. And Taiwan की technology is not all over the world. From the cell phone you use to the washing machine you're using, fridge, and any other technology. I can keep going on and keep telling you कि Taiwan कितनी popular country है in terms of it holds over the technology. But then what is the problem? These two countries, despite one being so much powerful and other being technologically so adept, does not actually stand together. And the story is about that. Why these two countries do not stand together? And what is their connection? अगर है भी तो क्या है? Now let's just move ahead and get to know about the story I'm talking about. Whenever we talk about any story or any recent event, it must have some like blip in the universe जहाँ से हम दोबारा उसको कहीं से घसीट के लेकर आते हैं. So like the question is similarly कि why is China and Taiwan are again in news? To understand that, there was recent article in The Economist which talked about, which was actually celebration of Communist Party of the China turning 100 years. वो अपने 100 साल आसानी से खुशी से मना रही थी. But this happiness was not that happy ending for the Taiwan, because apparently in this meeting, China talked about how it is actually trying to thwart any event or any attempt of the independence of Taiwan. China is not happy with the independence of Taiwan. Now, knowing that, इतना हिस्ट्री तो हम जानते ही हैं, लाइक थोड़ा बहुत इतनी तो आपको जनरल अवेयरनेस होगी. इन यूएनएससी देयर 5 पॉपुलर कंट्रीज एंड 5 आर supposedly democratic country. So why is that कि China does not support the independence of any other country, any other nation? Or is it Taiwan a nation? So that is the question that we are going to like answer today. Now let's just move ahead. First is understanding the history of Taiwan and China. आपके जहन में बहुत सारे सवाल होंगे, आपस में क्यों लड़ रहे हैं, what is the history, what is the recent relevance to the story. तो उसके लिए थोड़ा सा इनकी हिस्ट्री जाननी पड़ेगी, because the key to any present event lies in the past, and that is the past that we are going to understand. To understand the past, let's just start their history. To understand the history of Taiwan, now this is India, of course, like देख के पहचान सकते हैं. This is China, and here lies a small nation, Taiwan. Now, in the beginning of the civilization, ये बहुत ही पुरानी बात है, and I'm going actually very backward. Initially, Taiwan was ruled by the Austro-Asian tribal people used to live in the Taiwan. And ever since that, the Chinese economy also started growing in the mainland China, one dynasty become very popular, become very famous, and that is Qing dynasty. Qing dynasty over the period of time become that powerful कि वो अपने आसपास की सारी countries को अपने अंदर अपनी चपेट में लेने लगी. तो आप देखेंगे तो this is not just China, this is present Mongolia as well, present Japan as well, present Korea as well, including Taiwan. Qing dynasty का इफेक्ट इतना ज़्यादा बढ़ने लगा कि it started acquiring many territories including Taiwan, and ever since then Taiwan was administered by the Chinese dominated dynasty, and China and Taiwan became one. So there was time in the history when China and Taiwan was one under the influence of Qing dynasty. Now the story doesn't end here. If the story has such happy ending that they were two separate nations before and then they came together, तो शायद सभी खुश होते. Maybe this जो conflict हम बात कर रहे हैं ये कभी आता ही नहीं. स्टोरी में ट्विस्ट आता है with the beginning of the Japan in the story. Japan so far which was such a small nation और सो रहा था कहीं नींद में अराउंड 1880s, अराउंड 1880s 1860s अपनी गहरी नींद से जगता है. It wake up from a really long sleep, and I'm not kidding here. Japan was sleeping for 200 years. 200 साल तक nobody talked about Japan, and Japan actually did not have any control with the outer world. It was happy with itself. But one day, US decided to knock on its door. कि either हमारे साथ ट्रेड करो, वो भी हमारी ही टर्म्स में, otherwise we'll rule you. It was US, UK and other countries and Western countries started coming to Japan. And अपनी नींद से जापान को इसलिए जगना पड़ा because Japan, which has been the land of samurai, was one of the countries to be colonized and was not acceptable to the people of the Japan. And it was during that time when the samurai country woke up. It came up with such a great power कि इसने ना तो सिर्फ खुद को आज़ाद कराए just between 15 years, in a matter of 15 years, can you imagine? 15 साल में जापान इतना पावरफुल हो गया कि ना सिर्फ उसने खुद को आज़ाद कराया, but it became such a powerful country that it started acquiring other Asian countries as well. Like here you can see, it's इतनी छोटी सी country है. But soon it started acquiring other countries from Korea, Manchurian, part of Russia, part of China, and even Taiwan. It was during that time when the mighty Japan was ruling the entire world that actually Japan also acquired the Taiwan in 1895. And the king government, the king dynasty, which was ruling the Taiwan, has to finally cede its control to the Japanese forces. But then something changed. If that has been the case, maybe then most of the Asian countries would have been colonized so far, including India. शायद इंडिया एक और चैप्टर लिखता अपने इंडिपेंडेंस में, that is how it was ruled by Japan. But during World War II, something happened. World War II happened, and in that, US and several other Western countries came together, and they defeated Japan and Germany together. And you know the rest of the story, that how, you know, Hiroshima, Nagasaki happened, and one of the popular cities of the Japan were destroyed almost forever. आज तक की present generation इनसे suffer करती है. But that had repercussion for China and Taiwan as well, because during that time, China experienced independence movement. It was not just China or Taiwan. Together, they were experiencing independence movement. Now, the story to that part, because this is the third phase of the struggle we are going to talk about. And to talk about third phase, to understand the third phase, first you have to understand जब ये सब बैकग्राउंड में चल रहा था, चाइना में क्या चल रहा था. ड्यूरिंग दैट टाइम around 1915, 1919s and 1920s, 1915 to 1920, Dr. Sun Yat-sen became a powerful force in China. And he started leading independence movement in China, China which was ruled by almost 4 or 5 nations. It had the influence of Britain, Germany, France, US, and so many other countries. It was like a watermelon divided by, like, to be eaten by so many nations, जो कि सिर्फ उसका फायदा उठाना चाहते थे. And the native people came together. They decided to fight against this. It was then China saw the independence movement under Dr. Sun Yat-sen. और वहां पे उनकी इंडिपेंडेंस पार्टी बन जाती है. From 1950, 1990s, 1920s till 1920, 25, 2030. This party was a very, very powerful force in China. But then something happened. In this party for the independence, corruption happened over the period of time. So China saw two movements together. One was the demand for independence. Other was a fuel for civil war. because many other parties were not happy with the corruption that was taking place in the existing party, which was called the KMT, founded by Dr. Sun Yat-sen, but nowadays infected with corruption. Or alternate party at that time was the Communist Party. And this party had many powerful leaders, including Mao Zedong. And he was determined not only to free China, but also provide the free China with the socialist kind of government, the communist kind of government, where there is not just equality of needs, but the equality of the production, the equal right to the whatever that is produced in the state. That is the socialist idea Mao Zedong had. But KMT, on the other hand, was not leading on the lines of the communist. It wanted capitalism. तो चाइना के अंदर ही two different parties came together. They were not coming together. Instead, they were fighting with each other. One wanted communism, that is state का rule थोड़ा बढ़ जाए. Everybody should produce according to their need and not according to their greed. And equality in production and distribution of the product of the production was the demand of the Communist Party. On the other hand, the capitalist party like KMT wanted, promote the production, and for that freedom या लेसेज फेयर जैसे थ्योरीज को प्रमोट करना चाहिए. इन दोनों आइडियोलॉजी में जब स्ट्रगल होने लगा तो इट वॉज अ गुड ग्राउंड टू सी द सिविल वॉर इन चाइना. जैसे इंडिया में नहीं हुआ था. एट वन हैंड इंडिया वॉज हैप्पी कि इंडिपेंडेंस मिल रही थी. On the other hand, India also had to deal with the fact that there was internal strife going on, और शायद आज़ादी बिना पार्टीशन के नहीं मिलती. Similarly, China was also going through the similar phase. It's just that its division was not on the religious line, unlike India. Its division was on the ideological line, whether it will be ruled by the Communist Party or the Capitalist Party. And ultimately, decision came at the time of independence, like what happened with India. जैसे आज़ादी के टाइम पे इंडिया को अपनी आज़ादी किसी रिस्क फैक्टर पे देनी पड़ी थी, ऐसे ही चाइना के साथ हुआ. Now the Republic of China, which was basically the capitalist party. Republic of China was the capitalist party and it was very dominant at that time. It started ruling China post independence. But Communist Party भी similarly बहुत strong हो चुकी थी तब तक to ask what it wanted. And the civil war broke out in China. Finally what happened, Communist Party इतनी strong थी कि mainland China पे उसका stronghold हो गया. And then Republic of China under the leadership of Chiang Kai-shek realized कि there is only one thing, either lose all or to save whatever they have. And whatever they have was Taiwan. चाइना के बगल में, इतने बड़े चाइना के बगल में जो एक स्मॉल आइलैंड नेशन था, this was only thing that they could save. And that's why finally Chiang Kai-shek with his party of troops moved to Taiwan. And Mao Zedong from then onwards lead the mainland China. तब से mainland China माओ जेडोंग की कम्युनिस्ट लीडरशिप के अंदर है और जो आपका ताइवान है उसको एक कैपिटलिस्ट लीडरशिप मिली हुई है. Now if you remember, around that time only, even in the world was divided into two ideological parts. USSR was leading the communist part and US was leading the capitalist part. It also became the reason that Western countries started supporting Taiwan in the full form. Not exactly in the full form, but they supported Taiwan. Whereas the communist parties like Russia and China, they came together. Now, कहते हैं कि मतलब अगर घर की लड़ाई हो, अगर बाहर वालों को आने दो, तो they started taking advantage. Something like that happened in China as well. And that is what we call the next phase. Now, let's just move ahead. And the next part in the story is the story of what happened in Taiwan from then onwards. Because China की कहानी तो हमें पता है. उसके बाद China was led by Communist Party. Slowly, steadily, Chinese power rose to such a level कि आज वर्ल्ड में दो पावर हैं. One is China and other one is UN. In fact, I can safely say that कि वर्ल्ड आज फिर दोबारा बाइपोलर हो चुका है with the division of the powerful forces. But what happened with Taiwan? That is an interesting question. In Taiwan, it was Chiang government. और वो थोड़ी करप्ट भी थी. As I said कि it was the root cause was the corruption, जिसकी वजह से कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी का होल्ड बढ़ जाता है, उसको आइडियोलॉजिकल सपोर्ट मिल जाता है. But under the people's demand, they started resisting such kind of government. The new leader, that is Chiang Ching-kuo, has to bring the democratization. And then the president Lee Teng-hui, who's also called as a father of democracy, has to bring the full form democracy in Taiwan. And ever since, Taiwan is a democratic state with multi-party system. On the other hand, China is a communist state with one party ruling over there. And as I can say that, like I said earlier, कि वर्ल्ड वॉर 2 के बाद क्या हुआ था, हुआ ये था कि वर्ल्ड दो हिस्सों में डिवाइड हो गया था. एक कम्युनिस्ट था, एक कैपिटलिस्ट था, एंड जिसके विक्टिम बहुत सारी कंट्रीज हुई थी. एग्जाम्पल वॉज कोरिया. द डिविजन ऑफ कोरिया वॉज ऑन द कम्युनिस्ट एंड कैपिटलिस्ट लाइन. द विक्टिम वॉज ऑल्सो गोइंग टू बी वियतनाम, बट वियतनाम समहाउ सेव्ड इटसेल्फ. द विक्टिम बिकम ईरान, इराक, एंड समवे शायद चाइना और ताइवान भी हो जाते, बिकॉज ताइवान गॉट द सपोर्ट ऑफ द वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज विच सपोर्टेड द कैपिटलिस्ट सिस्टम, एंड चाइना वॉज नॉट हैप्पी विद दैट. China wanted one country, one system, but Taiwan recognized its sovereign existence. So that is this part of the story, and I hope you get that, because once you get this, अब न्यूज समझना बहुत आसान हो जाएगा. अगर आप हिस्ट्री समझ गए कि कैसे चाइना और ताइवान पहले अलग थे, फिर एक हो गए, और वो जो बिछड़ने की कहानी कैसे, लाइक इट वाज ऑन सिमिलर लाइक इंडिया एंड पाकिस्तान. They're different, yet they have common roots. And the common root ही वजह बन चुकी है कि like they are not able to bring peace with themselves. That is something you will understand in the next part of the news. That what is China's stand right now? Like हमें चाइना की कहानी पता चली, हमें ताइवान की कहानी पता चली, और ताइवान का stand became more clear. Now, China being a powerful country, it can actually take a powerful stand, which can be seen from the fact that China still consider Taiwan as part of its territory, and China move on the line of one country, one system. कि we will not compromise with the one country thing. कि Taiwan is the inherent part of China, and China is not leaving any claim to this. But Taiwan says that कि no, we have independent status and we are sovereign country. And to like in practical terms देखा जाए तो Taiwan is a sovereign country because वो independently ही act कर रही है. But like China is not happy with that independence. And like so far China was led by the policies of Mao Zedong and other the Chinese leader like Deng. Deng has a saying. He used to say, hide your strength and bide for your time. अपनी स्ट्रेंथ को तब तक छुपाओ जब तक तुम इतने पावरफुल ना हो जाए कि कोई और तुम्हारे सामने रुक ना पाए, और जब ऐसा हो तो छुपाने की जरूरत नहीं है. And China actually consider कि अब वो इतना पावरफुल हो गया है, and because of which we are actually opening the new chapters in the Taiwan and China history, their relationship. And that is the part that we are going to understand now. Now in this part, in the China, like relationship between China and Taiwan started improving around 1980s under the influence of Deng. Now, like China at that time also said कि we accept the system called as one country, two system. Like I said ना, one country is the part China बिल्कुल compromise नहीं करना चाहता. This is a very like important phrase for China. कि one country is something we will not compromise at all. And we are ready to accept the two system part. कि we run on the communist party, that is one party system, and you run on the democratic line, that is the multi-party system. But you will act independently only under China. And this was one part where China did not want to negotiate. But China said, why would we compromise that? Already we are acting independently and we have the sovereign status. But like as I said, China will only hide its power as long as it is not able to show its power because it's considered it is weak so far. But अब China is not weak anymore. China is the only like strong player in the world right now after US. So the world is bipolar right now, and China is increasingly getting aware of that. It is getting very strong. From economy, military to political strength, China is becoming formidable. उसको defeat करना बहुत मुश्किल है. And ever since China is becoming aware of this, China is becoming aggressive and assertive of what it claims to be its own. And Taiwan is actually one of that asset. China consider Taiwan to be its own. That's where the story become more complicated. And that's where you'll understand the present context, that what is the recent news about. You'll understand the recent news. So let's just understand that. Now, the recent news is about, to understand like Chinese stand, is in 2016, some development happened. अब ये आपका mainland China है और यहाँ पे आपका ताइवान है. Now what happened? China में दो तरह की leadership आती है. One is your Democratic Party, जिसको हम X नाम से मान लेते हैं. Other one, the other party is Y party, and usually ये दोनों पार्टी आपस में रिवॉल्व करती रहती है. Now, this Y party seeks to have a good relationship with China. कि ठीक है, whatever be the thing, like you don't recognize our independence, but we consider ourselves independence, but at least let's have good economic relationship. In fact, they want to invest in China because China is a rising power and a hotbed of development. On the other hand, Democratic Party is more about seeking independence from China. जैसे इंडिया में नहीं होता, कांग्रेस और बीजेपी का नैरेटिव होता है, एंड दिस यू कैन सी कि नैरेटिव किस लाइन पे चल रहा है. लाइक बीजेपी इज मोर अबाउट कि अखंड भारत बनाना है पाकिस्तान से, लाइक वी हैव टू बिकम मोर पावरफुल एंड स्ट्रांग, एंड लाइक राम मंदिर बनाना है, आर्टिकल 370 लाइक 371 हटाना था. सो इट वाज मोर अबाउट लाइक it's a similar narrative, like one party is associated with more this kind of ideological term. Similarly, Democratic Party in Korea is more about independence, because of which China के कान खड़े हो गए. That this party is getting consistently vote in Taiwan. That means people of Taiwan are becoming increasingly assertive about independence. वहीं पे China powerful हो रहा है, वहीं पे domestic politics is more about getting independence from the China. So, and in the entire scene of China and Taiwan not coming together, US became that बंदर जो कि बिल्ली की लड़ाई में इंटरफेयर करता है. US plays कि it will supply the supplies to the Taiwan. It will help Taiwan. In fact, in 2017-18 UPSC ने तो सवाल भी पूछ लिया था. Because US said around Taiwan ये in like missile system और missile defense system called THAAD, जो कि exactly ताइवान के आसपास जाके locate कर देंगे. Taiwan, Korea, somewhere like that. And China was not happy with the presence of US around, like anywhere around its territory. Slight hint भी अगर चाइना को मिल जाता है, China become like increasingly assertive about its power. because China consider US as its threat, the only player it consider कि threaten its existence or is threat to its rising power. So China become more assertive, or China की assertiveness become more clear during Hong Kong, because at one hand China is claiming कि चलो ठीक है, let's have two-party system, but under one China and we'll give you independence. पर चाइना के रिकॉर्ड इतने अच्छे हैं नहीं, including from Xinjiang, where it has been accused of minority cleansing to the extent कि वहां पे like there have been horrible incidences of like massacres. And recently, because of Hong Kong, Taiwan became more skeptical of China, because Hong Kong was supposed to stay independent. Around 1989 and 1990s, when Britain finally withdrew from Hong Kong, जो कि चाइना के थोड़े यहाँ पे कहीं लाई करता है, when China withdrew from Hong Kong, it was on the condition that there will be one country, two system. And two system include कि आप हांगकांग को इंडिपेंडेंस दोगे, वहां पे डेमोक्रेसी को इंटैक्ट रखोगे. But recently, China came up with various reforms in Hong Kong, जो कि वहां के लोगों ने प्रोटेस्ट भी किया. And it was a clear symbol कि China is not very good at keeping its promises. 1990 में जो हांगकांग को प्रॉमिस किया था वो तो रखा नहीं, तो क्या ताइवान की प्रॉमिस रखी जाएगी? China ever since then, ताइवान more assertive हो चुका है, China more stronger हो चुका है, और यूएस की आदत to interfere बढ़ चुकी है. Now this actually explain कि present scenario क्या है. Now what is the global stand right now in the entire thing? That is what we have to understand. कि इस पूरे scene में global stand क्या है? Now you can see three parties in here. पहले तो US है जो कि अपना influence बढ़ाना चाहती है. दूसरी चाइना है which claim कि ताइवान is own province और वो कभी इसे separate नहीं हो सकती. And in fact since पहले एक्चुअली जो पार्टी ताइवान में थी उसके पास यूएनएससी की सीट थी, बट अराउंड 1970 चाइना बिकेम दैट पावरफुल कि यूएनएससी की सीट भी चाइना के पास चली गई. सो इट्स डिफिकल्ट टू काउंटर मैंडेट द चाइना. एंड ओनली 15 ग्लोबली, ओनली 15 nations recognize the Taiwanese existence. They are maintaining relationship with Taiwan, but they also recognize or they do not interfere in the one country system. At least not openly. So what are the future possibilities? The question is if Economic Times has come with this news and if China is becoming increasingly assertive, then what is the future of Taiwan right now? And if what is the future if agar future of Taiwan change ho raha hai, how it is going to impact us? Why is it important to us? And if you're preparing for any exam, this question become more important, because anywhere if the status of a country is changing, then why it is important to us? Because if it influences us, then there's a possibility कि आपसे सवाल पूछ लिया जाए. That is where the global stand comes, the rest of the global development. That though Taiwan has all the characteristics of independent nation, but legally अभी भी इसको recognize नहीं किया गया है. And Taiwanese companies have invested around $60 billion in China, जिसकी वजह से opinion in Taiwan is split into two half. There is one half which is happy कि चलो ठीक है, अगर चाइना में इन्वेस्टमेंट हो रही है तो इट विल बी कॉस्टली अफेयर फॉर चाइना टू एंगेज इन एनी अटैक ऑन ताइवान, बिकॉज इसकी खुद की इन्वेस्टमेंट इन्फेक्ट they will be infected. On the other hand, other believes, it is actually increasing Taiwanese dependence on the China. So they're not happy with this kind of relationship. And in the entire scene, the question comes about कि अब इंडिया क्या करेगी इसमें? दो लोगों की लड़ाई में इंडिया क्यों why would it take any stand, and if it is taking any stand, what is the stand it should take? Then to understand that, so far, ever since 1949, India has accepted the one China policy. This is strange, right? India support the independence of most of the country, but there it has taken the one China policy stand. इंक्लूडिंग इट कंसिडर, ठीक है ताइवान भी तुम्हारा, तिब्बत भी तुम्हारा, हम उंगली नहीं करेंगे. And China, like India, does so from a diplomatic stand, because it believes if we are accepting the one China policy, then you also accept the one India policy in matter of J and K. नो मैटर कल आपसे नागालैंड आके कहे कि वो इंडिया से अलग है, या पंजाब आपसे कहे कि वो इंडिया से अलग है, या फिर कश्मीर आपसे कहे कि वो इंडिया से अलग है, यू आर नॉट गोइंग टू टेक एनी स्टैंड फॉर दैट. You're going to reciprocate what we are doing for you. If we recognize there is only one China, then you should also recognize the same thing. And till 1980s, India ka stand yahi raha. But around 1990s, something changed in India, and that was economic policy of 1990s. Now we wanted new market. Now we wanted new investors. And here comes the role of Taiwan. Taiwan has money. Taiwan has technology. So it was a market. It was good investment opportunity. And it has technology, something we wanted. And because of which, we started taking this more diplomatic stand. कि ना आपसे बिगड़े ना आपसे बिगड़े, अपना मुद्दा खुद समझाओ और हम दोनों से ही अच्छे संबंध बना के रखेंगे. And this is where the next stand of India become clear. कि we stop adhering to one China policy. In fact, officially we do not say anything about it. Like 2010 के बाद तो specially we don't have any document which says कि we accept one China policy. But on the other hand, हमारे जो ताइवान के साथ रिलेशनशिप है वो इतने ऑफिशियल भी नहीं है. We don't recognize the independent status of Taiwan. And our diplomatic relationship so far, like ever since 1995, is that हम उनकी कैपिटल के साथ रिलेशनशिप बना के रखते हैं, बट उसको ऑफिशियल लेवल तक नहीं लेके जाते. So this is what you can understand कि why India is taking such a stand. And this actually, like not just India, दुनिया में भी किसी की भी, this is going to be the question कि what is going to be the future possibilities. Is that कि China if become more powerful, वो धीरे धीरे सारे आसपास की कंट्रीज को ऑक्यूपाई करना शुरू कर देगा. Because for China it is very important, because China claim the access to the entire South China Sea. और South China Sea में वो धीरे धीरे छोटे छोटे आर्टिफिशियल आइलैंड भी बनाने लगा है, so that it can claim access to the South China Sea. And Taiwan is a part of this entire story, जिससे कि किसी को इन्फ्लुएंस भी ना बढ़े और चाइना की टेरिटोरियल एक्सटेंड भी बढ़ चुके. From where like you must have understood something कि like कहाँ से हमें क्या रिलेशनशिप रखना चाहिए. And so far as like things go, we would want to maintain our current stand, that we accept the one country policy of yours as long as you accept the one country policy of ours. On the other hand, we will also not accept any kind of aggression on part of any country. And third is, we would want to maintain the good relationship with both the nations. And if the entire thing was very informative to you, then stay connected to us. Like us, subscribe us, and stay connected to us. Thank you so much.